guys, Paranormal Video Gamer here. As I'm sitting on my back porch right now, just kind of taking in a little bit of fresh air, since I've been kind of cooped up with not just work, but pretty much coming home and sitting in my house, because, you know, obviously, with everything going on, the majority of us here in the state of Ohio are in quarantine until a certain amount of time. We're hoping that it gets lifted here in about a week, but most likely it's probably going to go a little while before that happens. But anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about the situation that's kind of going on with Naughty Dog and Last of Us 2. Now, as you guys all know, I loved the very first Last of Us game. It's one of my favorite games, especially the year it came out, which I think was 2018. I think 2017, one of the two. It's a phenomenal game. There's no doubt that the remastered version on PS4 is simply incredible. So recently, a Naughty Dog employee, from what I understood, was not getting paid overtime by Naughty Dog. They pretty much said, no, we're not going to pay you for your overtime. Even though this employee put in countless hours into the next chapter of Last of Us 2, Naughty Dog refused to pay this employee the hours that they were owed, basically stating, well, until the game is done, you're not getting anything. And that employee decided that he was going to make his stand. He was going to put his foot down and say, look, I worked really hard to meet your deadlines and do this, and you guys asked me to do this, and I did it. I didn't complain. He wrote apparently on Reddit or 4chan or something that in one particular week he worked over 90 hours in a week. 90 hours in a week on a game. And he did that and didn't complain because he was doing most of it from home. He was literally sitting at a computer for 90 hours that week at home working on Last of Us 2. Well, again, he asked them, hey, I need the money that I worked for to put your game out and get, certain things done. When am I going to get paid? And Naughty Dog again told him that no, he's not going to be paid until the game is fully launched and ready to go. And he's like, I can't wait that long. So Naughty Dog told him pretty much, tough poop. So this particular employee decided that he was going to make one last stand and say, all right, if you're not going to pay me my overtime that I'm owed, I'm going to release certain things about the game to the general public. And Naughty Dog said, no, you won't, pretty much. They were like, no, there's no way you're going to do that. That'd be stupid. You have nothing that, is worth releasing. And they basically, again, refused him his overtime hours that he worked. So this particular user released a bunch of stuff for Last of Us 2. Not just character models, but I looked at some of the stuff. Now, I didn't look at everything, but I did look at a couple things that was released. Not only did he release cutscenes of parts of the game that the way that the story is going, but he also released plot details, he released characters, he released level designs, artwork, music. I mean, he put out a whole bunch of stuff and warned them at Naughty Dog ahead of time, look, if you guys don't pay me what I'm owed, I'm going to release this and I'm not going to care. And they called his bluff, and they said, no, you won't, and he did. And I'm disappointed at it, but I understand why he did it, because this is a person's livelihood, okay? This person needed the money that he needed for his family, for probably taking care of bills, and he worked hard for that money. He should be getting paid. If he's doing overtime and he isn't getting paid for that overtime because they're more concerned about putting out the game than they are paying their employees while they're working on it, that, to me, that's an issue. That's a huge problem. I've heard some people say Naughty Dog has this thing where they will refuse employees their paychecks or the majority of their paychecks until they finish certain projects. But I didn't believe it until now. Now, this person that released this stuff, I mean, they released a lot of things, so that kind of gives a little bit of credibility to what this person was trying to accomplish. They were trying to say, look, you know, you guys at Naughty Dog are not, you know, the big cheese like you guys think you are. You know, you can't hold people's money and expect them not to do something to get paid. And apparently, when he released this stuff, other people offered him a lot of money to release this stuff so he can get paid and take care of his family and stuff, so they can get exclusive rights to what he had on his computer and on hard drives and USB drives. And I understand it is Naughty Dog's property technically, because they are the ones that paid the money for making the game. But when you're not paying your employees, they're gonna do things like this. They're gonna release things because they've got nothing to lose. I mean, you're pretty much, you put them into a wall, you put them in a cage, and you said, keep going, work more hours. When they're exhausted, they're barely sleeping. I mean, 80 to 90 hours a week working on a game? That's insanity. I understand they got crunch time and they want to get the game out as soon as possible so customers will be happy and they sell a lot of copies, but you can't hold people's money, especially nowadays with this thing going around. This guy's probably worried as heck, you know, where he's going to feed, you know, himself or maybe his family or maybe even help out friends and stuff that he has. To me, that was Naughty Dog's stupid mistake. If that is true, and that, like I was reading on Reddit, what the guy had posted on there, or allegedly posted on there about why he released it, that's insane. And Naughty Dog should be ashamed of themselves, in my opinion, for holding on a person's check, especially for a game that's not finished, while they're working on it. Again, I understand, you know, maybe that's part of a contract where they hold a certain amount of money, but you know, when this guy puts in 80 hours a week and you're not giving him, let's say, half of that for working on the game, now I can understand holding a little bit, but not holding the whole damn thing and then going, oh, tough crap. I've seen so many game companies do this. Just to name a few, Electronic Arts. You know, whenever they put together a new Madden game, a lot of people complain that not only is it a copy, but they hold employees' checks until the game is actually finished. And I've heard that has happened many, many times over the years. I've heard other companies do the same thing. Activision, for one. 2K is another one I've heard that does that practice. I've heard Banzai, I think that's how they pronounce their name. I've heard them do that a couple times. And obviously Naughty Dog. But, wow. I'm not going to spoil anything on Last of Us 2. But after seeing what I've seen, I'm a little leery to buy the game. And I'm going to give you my personal 3 reasons why I'm a little leery to buy Last of Us 2. Number 1, the story goes in a very different direction than the first one. Now, I played Last of Us, beat the whole game a long time ago on PS3, and loved it. Great ending. This one takes it to a different plateau, you could say. It takes it to a different place. And from what I understood from the elements of the story, I'm not really sold on the idea. Number 2. One thing I didn't like what I saw was some of the artwork. Maybe it's just because it was a beta version or something, and it's one of those things where I'm kind of like taken back a little bit, but a lot of the artwork doesn't look very good. Parts of it look great, other parts of it not so much. And the number 3 point that I'm a little leery about buying the game. So, one part of the leak was the price point that they're going to be asking for Last of Us 2. Now, you're going to get your standard version of $60. Okay, standard version, you get the game, that's all you get. Some of the DLC, apparently, that was leaked, they want an additional $60 per DLC. For DLC that maybe adds 4 hours of extra gameplay on a supposedly 10-hour gameplay for the standard version. So you get 10 hours, you pay another $60, you get 4 hours, and then there's another pack apparently where you get an additional 4 hours. That's 18 hours for, let's see here, $180. 14 hours for $180. Nah, not worth it. I mean, maybe it's just me, but I'm a little disappointed at Naughty Dog, and I'm gonna wait and see on getting Last of Us 2. I've been disappointed before, obviously, but this is definitely a huge disappointment for me. So that's my rant. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to comment below your thoughts and what you think. I'm kind of curious what everybody else is feeling with Last of Us 2 and Naughty Dog. So again, please feel free to comment, and I will personally comment on whatever you write. Just give me a heads up. Let me know what you guys think. Later.